great city. And that's in Star Wars.
Why not? As long as you have parks, eh?
Yeah.
This pretty much obliterates all of nature. Just have a city. What do you see in the future?
I don't know. It's always up to being altered or changed, and go on to an alternate timeline from one step to the other, kind of.
Is there really anything alternate to the world we know?
Yeah, there has to be.
Why does there have to be?
I don't know. Why don't you think it could happen?
I just think there's only one world and we make up other worlds.
Yeah, because I'm a strong believer.
Yes, in science, like, the multiverse is, like, kind of like an accepted kind of like hypothesis.
Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Or Middle Earth.
What do you mean by Middle Earth?
Just a level either upon us, or like behind us, or forward kind of thing.
So there's aliens in front and behind? Or...
I think it has to do with counting numbers, yeah. Like the whole idea of weird things happening every 300 years or so.
Weird in a human sense, or weird in like some kind of universal sense?
For all we know, it could be universal without even trying.
You think there should be set rules in the universe if there's other species and intelligent species besides Homo sapien sapien?
Well, it's kind of governed in a way that when you look at people who like do things to actually make a difference in changing the world, they're considered a hero or a superhero. But then there's also people who want to be a super villain or a bad guy enemy, and it's just, I don't know. You'd be surprised.
There's a movie out and there's a bunch of people protesting it. I don't really understand the protest, but it's about terrorism. It's with Seth Rogen, and it's called The Interview, and they go to interview the leader of North Korea.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what I should have read up on it if I'm going to mention it, I guess, but just Google it, I guess.
Yeah.
But as a master projector, what advice do you give to the young projections?
It's better to know the long view before the shortcut. The scenic route has to be... Scenic routes are always needed. Scenic.
So take the long route. Don't short circuit yourself.
Don't take a shortcut when you know what you're shortcutting with. So yeah, that's a good thing. Just know the whole kind of circle of things even too.
Do you think in the future more people will be aware of projection, and like more people will be projecting and less people will be going to church?
I don't know. I mean, we have this idea of heaven and hell and God and Satan, Cain and Abel and Adam and Noah and Moses. Yeah, I don't know.
They're all just characters in a story.
Characters, pretty much.
But people are convinced that characters are really real. Like that God is a real character. That there's actually someone in the sky looking down, and that's what I kind of think of when you have that saying that you see the face of the author and you're just a character, as though you're following a script that someone else is writing.
I joke about that because I mean, I don't know. I don't think I actually follow a script per se, but
do you think things are predetermined? Like determined before you're alive?
Occasionally, I think it should.
So you're kind of like a compatibilist. You're not. You kind of think it's like there's exceptions, but usually the rule is that it's written out before, or that the rule is that it's not written out before and you're actually free.
Yeah, because sometimes you can break the cycle.
So you can break the cycle sometimes. So it's usually you're unfree, or usually you're free.
I don't know.
What's the freest you've ever felt?
The greatest I've ever felt.
No, the freest.
I don't know. That's a tough question.
If you see the face of the author and you're just a character, then that doesn't sound very free.
Meaning that I'm limited, right?
Meaning that someone's controlling you.
Yeah, but that's not always in question, because even if it does, they might have to deny. I don't know. It's weird stuff.
It is weird, I guess. I don't really feel that anything's controlling me, but yet I feel like instinct is kind of like controlling me. So I feel the same way, like there's exceptions to being free, where you're not really free, or you have to... I mean, you can hold in your urine and stuff like that, but you gotta pee. And that goes with not just like biological functions, but like psychological functions too. You have to purge them. You have to get rid of stuff in your brain. You have to renew things. Kind of
clean out your closets.
Yeah. And in terms of being free, how free do you think you are? 90%?
Well, it's just, I say it's kind of weird because technically I feel like I should be in a mental institution still, but I haven't been.
I think you speak well and stuff, and I don't think you should be in a mental institution. No. I think you should be out free from...
Yeah, but that's the thing. I mean, right now I'm just relishing freedom because it could be taken away tomorrow and we wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
I could go down a really bad spiral out of control.
You could, but you could also remain static and
normal, knows your P's and Q's, and yeah.
Do you crave a kind of weirdness?
I don't know, I still kind of see myself as an outsider looking in. That's another thing I feel like.
An outsider looking in? What are you outside of? Like you're outside of the universe that you're looking into?
In a sense, like popularity and all that stuff, and acceptance, and yeah, feeling like belonging to, yeah.
How do you feel about there being a multiverse?
I know it's out there. I'm pretty sure we can tap into it.
But doesn't it make you feel like everything is like way bigger than it has to be?
I don't know. I mean, a show you should also watch is probably Sliders. And that was a really kick-ass show.
Do Do you think projection should be taught in schools?
Maybe special schools like the Xavier New Mutant program.
What's that, from X-Men?
Or,
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of... It's an ongoing storyline for a lot of supergroups of going to like a private school and then having all these wonderful powers to play with. And it's just more of explaining like private school and what they could
teach people to have superpowers.
Yeah, but kind of a snobby, kind of cliquey way that, if you know what I mean, you're not one of us.
So, the superpowers is kind of like a race between the supervillains and the superheroes, right? Because the supervillains, that's why they're superheroes. Like, we wouldn't really need superpowers if we didn't have to fight villains that also had superpowers.
Yeah, I know. But that's the funny thing
So
about,
it's
like,
kind of like
even...
It's kind of like the arms race with nuclear weapons.
Well, no, I don't know about that per se, but... I mean... Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry, I couldn't cut you off. But I was saying that it was like the arms race, because it's like the supervillains and the superheroes are like clashing with, like, they're trying to come up with more superpowers than the superheroes, and the superheroes have to come up with more superpowers, or else they can't.
Most supervillains are related to, like, a certain hero, and the hero battles this person because they're actually just a family member they have to deal with.
So it's just a metaphor for family feuds?
Kinda. Weird, because there's, like, most of the time, like, even your enemy could be your cousin or brother or sister. Some sibling even. Which is.
So the stories of superheroes will help people instruct their lives on how to deal with feuds in their family and stuff like that?
I don't know. You could maybe think, well, it's an escape. But I don't know if it could. I don't know.
So, like, someone's reading about Superman, like, sees through a building, and he sees a guy's trying to steal money, and he flies in, and he grabs him in a headlock, and takes him to the police. And then a person reads that, and they think to themselves, oh man, I have this trouble with my family, and they're, like, such and such, and this problem or that problem. So they, like, see through all their problems, and they see the problem that the robbers are in the bank. No, I'm just...
Kind of going overboard.
Yeah. But how would a comic book instruct a person's life?
I don't know. It's just a fun escape. I mean, you read these stories, you're intrigued, you're interested, and you keep reading it. And yeah, I mean, that's the thing that's easy to read is comics.
But what about projection and leveling up?
And that's true to an extent. And there's, like, certain government agencies that do know that they're shortcuts and they do know how to control it. But they won't let the general public know about certain things. Especially time travel. And not alien contact, but time travel contact.
Because the government can time travel?
Probably the United more than Canadian, but...
But time travel is not possible, is it?
I think time travel is possible.
In your head,
I just...
But not,
yeah.
but not for real. Not really real, though, right?
I don't know. That's a tough question, really.